Hello YouTube, it is CabooseSayzWTF here, and here today I'm just making a quick update video on some of the progress made with the Xbox360 BadUpdate exploit for retail consoles, using the save game exploit, for Tony Hawk or Rock Band Blitz, made by Grim Doomer. We also use this payload called FreeMyXe, which does freedom unlocking patches. Today's update to it, Beta 4. Now again, this will get updates in the future, and some things may change from the time I make this video, so be warned about that. But today, original Xbox support has finally been added, so you can now play Xbox original games. So before, with earlier updates to this payload, if you tried launching a Xbox original game, you would originally, freeze or crash, or it would hard lock the system and you had to reboot and go launch the exploit again. But today, if you read the README, it says original Xbox support. The patches made by FreeMyXe are not fully compatible when running original Xbox games. Before starting any original Xbox title, you must launch OGXboxPrep.xex first. And after you're done, you must launch it again. This is included in FreeMyXe Beta 4 and above. Now, I would honestly advise Emma update this just a little bit to be reworded a bit different, and I'll explain why in a second. But if you read this, it says before starting any original Xbox title, you must launch OGXboxPrep.xex first, and then after you're done, you must launch it again. So the way it's worded, it sounds like you have to boot this first. You have to boot this first, go play a game. Then once you're done playing such game, you must launch this again. But in reality, once you launch this XEX first, then go play an Xbox original game, you can technically go to dashboard and then, put another Xbox original game in. Or if you had them in a extract format, you can just go keep playing different Xbox original titles. The only time you have to relaunch this again is the moment you're completely done playing Xbox original titles. But a cool neat little thing with this new update to it, you can also now use the hacked original Xbox emulator files. So basically, which I'll have a link to all this in the description below. So basically, the hacked original Xbox emulator files, these basically allow any game to launch. Now, not necessarily all games are going to boot, but if there's an unsupported title, you can try booting it now. You can use things such as Aurora, which I've not tested. I don't use Aurora personally. You can use Homebrew on there, or scripts on Aurora to actually swap between the emulator XEFU types. To see if games have better compatibility with a certain XEFU, which it should be called like XEFU spoofer or something on Aurora. I'm not gonna go over that in this video because I personally, again, I don't use Aurora. But yeah, you can now use these hacked compatibility files so long as your Xbox 360 hard drive has support for the Xbox original emulator, and so long as you are using the exploit. Now, once you install these files, if you don't have the exploit running, you won't be able to boot Xbox original titles again, at least not unless you replace the hacked compatibility files with the original unmodified compatibility files. So we're just going to download this because you can now run Xbox original games like that have been modded, modified, that have unsigned code, stuff like that. So we're just going to download this, and I have it on my desktop already. So I'm going to go ahead and get a spare drive here, a USB. I'm going to open up this here. You can read the README if you want, but if you want to go off my video, I only ever use the 64 megabyte version with the regular. This is to avoid any issues that may occur from these experimental versions, such as this one and these, but I always use regular. I'm going to create a folder on my USB, and I'm going to call it hacked compat files. Now, if your original Xbox hard drive does not support the original Xbox emulator on 360, sadly, you'll have to go watch another video or do a Google search on how to set up your hard drive to do that. Now, there are homebrew apps called the HDD Partition Fixer, which allows you to install Xbox original emulator files. I'm not going to go over that in this video because I'm not 100% sure if that'll work out the box with this exploit or even on retail. I don't know if it'll cause issues with the hard drive on retail side with the exploit not running. But feel free to try. I'm not going to do it in this video because I don't want to risk it, but I want to say you should be fine. You can also install the compatibility file partitions with Fat Explorer. You can look up videos on how to do that for Fat Explorer as well. I'm not covering any of that in this video. This is just a showcase showing that you can now play Xbox original titles with the Xbox360BadUpdate, as well as showing how to get more games up and running, as well as unsigned code modified Xbox original games running. So for my test, I'm going to be using a Halo 2 map pack called Compatibility. I'm going to show what happens when I launch it through the normal compatibility files. Then I'm going to show what happens when I launch it using the hacked version. So in this folder, hacked compatibility files, I'm going to drag and drop compatibility here. And now I'm going to go meet you on Xbox 360 side. Now, once you're over here on Xbox 360 side, you can go to game, go launch XEX menu or Aurora, however you want to go to games and replace files. Alright, so if you press X while in at least XEX menu, you should see HDDX. This will be your original unmodified compatibility files. You're going to want to copy it and back all of these up. So I'm going to go to a USB drive here, and I'm just going to create a new folder, and I'm just going to name it to, let's just see. I'm just going to name it OG backup. Okay, now I'm going to go back to HDDX. I'm going to press Y over compatibility, go up to copy, press X again, go back to my USB. I'm going to go to the OG backup folder, press Y and click paste. Now you may not have to do this, but I'm going to do that for these other two files here as well, TBX and index. Alright, so you've backed up your original Xbox compatibility files so you can replace them down the road if you do so want to. Now, on another USB, I have the OGXboxPrep.xex. You can download that from the repo from FreeMyXe. Just put it on any USB device that you want. But I'm just going to go ahead and boot it. Now, if I had any advice for Emma, aka Unboxing Plays Games, once you boot this executable or XEX, advise Emma to add a message box, show and patched or show and unpatched, just so people are aware that something did happen. Because when it exits straight to dashboard, it looks like something failed or it looks like it just crashed the dash. So I would recommend a X notify message pop up or a message box pop up. One where it says enabled, one where it says it was disabled. Something like that, just to give the user, the person, you yourself, a notification of that something happened. But that's just some, me nitpicking about it. But otherwise, fantastic work. So now I'm going to go back to XEX menu. And again, I'm using the original Xbox compatibility files. I'm not using the hacked ones yet. So I'm going to go to my USB with Compatibility version 1. And I'm just going to try to boot it. As you can see here, original Xbox games are blocked. This message may change per game, but it says it's blocked due to family settings. This is not true. This is an invalid error. My family settings are turned off for the console, but you can just click OK and it'll exit you back to dash. And this is mostly because this is a modded file of a modified version of the game, like the executable is modified. It's unsigned code, so ideally the Xbox original emulator is not going to boot it natively. So now I'm going to go back to XEX menu. I'm going to go to that USB. I'm going to go to HDDX, and I'm going to press Y on compatibility folder, and I'm just going to click delete. Again, make sure you did back it up. Now I'm going to go to my USB. I'm going to go down to hacked compatibility files. I'm going to press Y over compatibility and click copy. Going to go back to HDDX, press Y and click paste. Alright, now I'm going to go back to Compatibility version 1. Again, this is a modded Halo 2 map pack. And I'm going to launch the default.xb. Alright, as you can see, the modded map pack did load. I'm just going to go to, say, split screen real quick. Let's just put it on a random map here. We'll do aerial. Alright, and as you can see, I'm playing on the modded map pack just fine due to the hacked compatibility files. Oh look, there's a pelican. Oh look, there's a cool warthog flying thing. I forgot the actual name of it, sorry. It's a modded vehicle. Sorry whoever created it. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and go back to dashboard here. I'm going to go back to my games and unload or execute that XEX again. So this should, you know, change the instructions that it needs to re-enable memory protections. And now I'm going to go try to boot the modded map pack again just to see what happens. In theory, it should kick me back to dash or crash or freeze my console. In theory. Alright, yep. And just like that, it froze the console. Alright, I just rebooted my console, so the exploit is no longer running. The console did boot, you know, that's a non-shocker. But the exploit is currently not running, but the hacked OGXbox files are still installed to the hard drive. Now, I have a clean copy, you know, physical disk of Halo 2. Let's just see what happens when I try to boot it now. Again, exploit is not running. Alright, as you can see, it's going to give me a game error saying that the game could not boot. So, if you are not running the exploit and want to play your physical Xbox original games, do make sure you replace the compatibility files with clean, untouched, unhacked up compatibility files. You can do that while running the exploit to replace them, or you can use tools such as Fat Explorer to replace the files, or any other kind of Xbox 360 hard drive explorer program on your computer. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for this video, so comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.